What is going on, kings and queens? It's your boy Notorious here. With the new patch 4.04, we have a heavily modified Icebox. So I just released my Icebox video last week. We gotta go back and change everything on B site. So let's get into it and let's begin. Alright, as we head on over to B, we're going to realize that a lot of our original spots where we used to do mollies have been heavily modified. So because of that, these two spots have been rendered, unusable. There's a big change to yellow, so there's a couple spots from here, surprisingly. And then as you can tell from the site, they removed double stack, they fixed the wall here so that the opening is here. There's a little, like a little cubby now. You can plant back here a little bit better. So we're going to explore all of our options for B site, alright? Alright, starting off on B site, as we can kind of see, double stack has moved to let you cover from under more, but we're gonna probably assume that this will probably be a really common plant spot. This place was modified, so the lineup has been changed. You can't do a jump molly anymore, so I do have a new one. So you have 3 different markers that you can use for this. You can either use this here, you can use this here, or you can use this over here. The easiest one is going to be if you take the line between molly and smoke, and line it up at the very corner of this container, like so, and then fly. This one's gonna fly up, hit the container in the air, bounce, and cover the bomb. Covers a relatively nice portion of the bomb. The other one is to use this as your landmark right here. Take the tip of the left squiggle, let it sit, and fire. Same deal, it'll bounce off and bounce. This one will go a little bit deeper towards here, so you can get a more open plant if you need. And then the last variation, using the metal part, you would take the tip of your smoke line and use this as your landmark. So right there, and fire. This one will fly up, bounce off the container, bounce, and cover the bomb as well. Alright, next one we have is we're going to go back to our green box here. In our last video we used a bunch of different markers, but for this one we only have one for default. You'll be aiming at this junction of where the metal is pretty much welded together. You're going to take the diamond of the molly icon, put it right on top, and fire. This one should fly up, bounce, and land right on top of the bomb. Alright, that's pretty much all for this area. I've been trying to do one from danger like we used to have, but it's been modified to where it doesn't land directly on there. And there is a trick shot one that I can't seem to perfect, so I'm not going to show that to you guys. I feel like that's really unfair to y'all. Okay, so we're going to go back to our center area. Okay, remember our pallets right here from the last video. Normally, we would use the Q to line up here. But since there's no more double box and you can plant deeper, it's actually way too open. It doesn't really get deep into that corner. So now our new marker is going to be this little dark spot right here. So at the same height of the Q, instead we're just going to put our middle line on the left side, or the left side of the middle line from molly icon to smoke. And we're going to molly. This one should hug the containers a little bit closer. Bounce and cover the bomb site. Let me modify that a little bit more. Let's make sure it's picture perfect. So instead of using that, we're going to go down to the right side and fire. This one should be a lot better. So as you can kind of tell, like you want to play around with the distancing. There you go. So see, as we use the right side of the HUD, it'll cover the whole bomb site to make sure that you can get your plant. Okay. This one from mid boiler that we had that used this one is still perfectly viable. This one still works just as well because it doesn't have the box anymore. It actually does get pretty close to the bomb now without getting stopped by the box. Nice and simple, good for a counter molly. And if you wanted to do the one that's like deeper when they're like planning like back at the site right here, we do have this lineup still where you use the left side still, line it up and fire. This one still does go just as deep, so there's no issue with that either. Alright, okay, so from under kitchen, snow pile, we're still going to be using our exact same lineup of using this caution sign and the smoke icon like so,
Molly.
and fire. This one has not changed. This one still lands perfectly fine right on top, bounces, and lands. Beautiful. All right, now we have some new additions. Before we couldn't do this because of the way the site was set up, but now we can. So using the second anchor point here, take the tip of your smoke icon and fire. This one should fly up, bounce down, and land right next to the bomb. Easy. Okay, and then last but not least, we have one right here, back sight. This one, you're gonna take your smoke icon and place it at this bolt here, at the very tip, and
Molly.
this one should fly up, bounce, and land right next to the bomb. Alright, that covers default.
Got the spike.
Alright, besides default with the new site, I've been kind of theory crafting where people could plant, you know, playing at a higher level. I know for a fact that this will probably be a good plant spot. Kind of hard to defend for yourself, but you can defend from yellow, danger, even on site. And I know for a fact that this will be one, because you could defend this from under, from main, or long, and from yellow. I know right here will be another plant spot because this one is wide out in the open. You can't get wall banged anymore by the box, so it's not as a dumb plant. And then definitely this spot as you can go back to snow and everything. So the next lineup spot we're going to focus on is right underneath here, right under rope.
Got the spike.
Okay, so for your first lineup, it's going to be in front of this king box. Your marker will be where this part of the box welds. You're going to take the squiggle of your left side HUD, let it rest there, and
Molly.
this one's going to go up, bounce, go under, and cover the bomb. This should cover both sides, so you don't really have to worry much. There is a modification if you wanted to cover that one specifically if you're worried. Next one we have is you're going to go right here in danger. Okay, we're going to be using this as our landmark. You can take it here, and you're going to fire. And that covers the bomb. To actually clarify that one, just so it's not as confusing, my apologies. You could also use this part right here or this part right here. So I'm going to let it sit for a second. So as you can see right there, they're both lined up perfectly, but if you don't want to focus on both, you can just focus on one and then fire. This one will go up, bounce underneath, and land right on top of the bomb. Nice and beautiful. Okay, next one is going to be from near tube. So you're going to line up in the middle of this blue container. Okay, there used to be an old lineup that utilized this, so this will still relatively be a sort of a reference point. So I like to use this as where I like to start, this little diamond right here from that reference point. If you do this one, it's going to land right here, which is what we'll talk about later. So you're going to lower this until the smoke icon is parallel to the top of that box, just like so. The top of the smoke icon, the point. And you're going to take it here, and you're going to fire. This one should land directly for A main plant, or sorry, B long plant, and cover that. Okay? Next, we're going to go back to our palette spot. So this will be our main reference. You could also use this, but we're going to use this. You're going to take the tip of your molly icon, but instead of using the left tip, we're going to use the right tip, because the building could get in the way if you use the left tip. So we're going to use the shorter side of the molly icon and fire. This one should fly up, bounce under, and land right on top of the bomb. Nice and easy. All right, and that should cover all for B long open plant. So we're going to move on to the next spot. Okay, so for our next plant spot, we're going to talk about planting under here. This could be useful if you know that they may be coming from snow and you want to circle around or something. I don't see this being written off as something that we wouldn't use. So you have one at king spot. You're going to line up right here. You're going to be drawing an imaginary line from this junction to this line. So as you sit here, you're going to go right across and fire. This one should fly up, bounce underneath, and blue. Okay, one more time. Using this junction, we're gonna draw an imaginary line. So right here, and then move and fire.
Volley.
This one will go underneath. This one still covers the bomb, so even if it hits the wall, as long as it doesn't touch this ledge and go off, you'll be fine. Next one will be from middle. We don't have one from danger back on B long, so we can't really work with that much. And you go into this blue king box. I mentioned earlier that we have this little triangle here, so we're still going to be using that. And now this time, instead of lowering it, we're just going to keep it at this triangle. This is our exact landmark.
Molly.
You fire it. This one will bounce. Land right next to the bomb. Easy day. And back at pallet box. So you have two landmarks you can use. You can either use this dark spot or you could use the tip of that crane. So if you use the tip of the crane, you're going to use the right side of the line next to Molly and Smoke.
Molly.
And fire. This one will bounce and be really close to the bomb, burning the whole area. If you don't like that one, maybe it's hard to see, you can't see the lines very clearly, we're going to use this dark spot. So take it like where we were going to do our open plant, move it all the way up, just like so,
Molly.
and fire. You want the bottom of the Molly icon at that dark spot instead. This one will bounce and sit right next to the bomb as well, and burn the area. Okay? Moving to our next plant spot, we're going to go with this open
Spike
plant.
drop.
This one's very useful because you
Right
can peek
here.
it from snowman, you could peek
Right
it
here.
from top green, you could peek
Right
it
here.
from yellow,
Right
bottom
here.
green, you can
Plant the
technically
spike.
peek it from top type. So the first lineup we have will be at yellow, just to make it simple. So you're going to line yourself up here in the middle of this beam, all right? Corner of this crane will be your landmark. So take the edge or the corner of the stim beacon HUD, the charge area, let it sit at that corner and fire.
Molly.
This one will fly up, bounce, and nestle with the bomb for an easy yellow peak. Next one, we're gonna head over to our king spot. You're gonna be using this eye right here in shipping as your landmark. Take the tip of the diamonds or the triangles of your Molly box and fire.
Molly.
This one will fly up, bounce, and land right next to the bomb as well. Okay, next one we have at danger. This one is a bit trick shotty, so please practice it because this has messed up a couple times. You're gonna line up at the danger sign again. You're gonna use the point of this triangle on the crane as your landmark. You're gonna put the tip of your left side HUD, the point, on the very tip of that triangle.
Molly.
Fire. This one should fly up, bounce inside tube, bounce at the roof of tube, land right on top of bomb, burning your opponent. Next one, we're gonna go from snow pile right here. Sorry. You're gonna be using the corner of this container as your landmark. Take the line, the left side of the line between Stim Beacon and Molly, and let it rest in the corner of that container
Molly.
and fire. This one will fly up, bounce, and land right next to the bomb. Easy. And then last one is from Snowman. So from Snowman, you're gonna jam yourself in this corner. Okay. You're gonna be using the triangle as your landmark. Take the triangle point of the Molly icon and let it touch tips with the triangle from the building.
Molly.
Fire. This one's gonna fly up, bounce, and land right on top of the bomb. Okay, so that covers this open plant. Next, we're gonna go to our last and final spot. All right, so for our last and final spot, we have
Spike
this
drop.
open backside snowman plant. There's not many for this, so we're gonna work with what we got to kind of give us some good help. So the first one will be from Snowman. Okay, you'll be using this line as your reference point on the crane. Take the point of your left side HUD and put it on that line
Molly.
and fire. This one will fly up, bounce, and cover the bomb. Nice one about this is that whatever lands here usually will cover the whole bomb area, so you don't have to worry too much. So that's from Snowman. Next one is from Snow Pile, under kitchen. The open flap of this container, the door, will be your landmark. Take the tip of the HUD, or the point of it, and let it rest in that corner, and then you're gonna fire.
Molly!
This one will fly up, careen off the building, bounce, and snuggle with the bomb, giving you nice coverage. You can kind of push up Snow Pile, or this is just to kind of help defend if you have more than one person. And then last but not least, we have it from Boiler. So there's a couple landmarks from here. You can use this, you can use this, you can even use this. So starting off with this middle part right here, take the right line of your Molly icon and let it sit right on top and fire.
Molly!
This one will fly up, bank off the ramp, land right on top of the bomb. Okay. Your next one would be this little corner. Okay. Take your smoke icon, the tip of it, let it rest in that corner,
Molly!
and fire. This one should fly up, bank off the ramp, land directly on the bomb. Okay, last but not least, this one may or may not work. Originally this was meant to be for open plant, but it didn't really, it was kind of wishy-washy. You're gonna line up your line between Stim Beacon and Molly,
Molly!
and fire. This one should careen off the ramp as well and go towards the bomb. Alright, that does it. This is just a quick refresh with the new 4.04 patch. Brimstone definitely got buffs with the movement speed on his Stim Beacon, the deployment of his smokes, and now with the new changes to Icebox, I just wanted to update the video so you guys have the best information you got. It's the rise of the new Brimstone meta, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait for you guys to share in the success. But yeah, please let me know what you think of these lineups. Obviously, there's more plant spots if you want to configure it around, and if you want, join my Discord. Let me know which ones you find. I hope this convinced you to understand that Brimstone's always been a sleeper agent, and I'm really excited for him to be better. But with that said, I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the video. Peace out, kings and queens. I hope you guys have a great night.